There are three basic psychological needs. There's just three, and they're understandable, and we're going to go through them, right? The first is a basic need for autonomy. The second is our basic need for relatedness. And the third is our basic need for mastery. And these three needs, when they're supported and fulfilled, result in incredible boosts, not only in well-being, but in all the other things that we're trying to track in our organization and impact in our jobs in taking care of our people. Autonomy is our basic need to feel that we are the authors of our lives. We want to endorse and have ownership on the paths we're traveling and the tasks we're undertaking, right? The alternative to that is we don't want to feel controlled or manipulated or pressured. And by the way, that's why the transactional thinking I've mentioned earlier begins to break down and actually undermine true need fulfillment, right? Autonomy is not really necessarily about freedom. It's nice when you can give workers choice, but what it's about is building that ownership or endorsement, right? It's about endorsement. So do I understand how my job contributes to the mission? Am I given clear rationales for tasks and policies and procedures, or are they just assigned? Do I really understand them and buy into that purpose? Are my objections and struggles heard and acknowledged? You might not be able to fix them, but are you listening to them? Just listening to them, acknowledging them goes a big way to supporting that you care about somebody as a person. Do I have meaningful choice where possible? And are there structures in place that I understand, endorse, and value what's going on? And by the way, this autonomous experience of workers, this endorsement, this ownership, if you're going to measure, if any of you are thinking about the world of remote work and how are we going to manage people remotely and these hybrid models and everything else, if you had to pick one thing to track as to how well you're going to be able, people are going to be able to work effectively at a distance, it's autonomy, right? Like, how are we going to keep people engaged at a distance? If they have this endorsement, right, they have this ownership, this is essential for successful remote work. That was just a little bit of an aside because I know this is something that's on everyone's minds these days. The second basic psychological need is the need for relatedness. It's our basic need to feel that we matter to everyone around us. We're respected, we're supported, we're cared for. These are the things that fulfill our relatedness needs, and also that we're given the opportunity to give that same kind of care and interaction to others, right? So for employees, do they feel their perspective is valued? Do they feel they matter to the organization and coworkers? Are they included in planning and problem solving? We're doing a lot of work these days, specifically looking at this, given how much work environments and the new normal is being reconfigured. Again, are my ideas and objections heard? And do I feel I personally am making value contributions to the work, right? So all these are very important in the workplace for somebody to feel a sense of connection and relatedness. And when it's fulfilled, people naturally lean in more to their work, they naturally communicate better, they naturally collaborate more. The third basic psychological need is the need for mastery. That's our need to feel effective. We want to feel successful at what we're doing. We also want to experience a sense of growth and development, both in our skills and in our responsibilities, right? So it's successful in our day-to-day activities, but also seeing those pathways to growth in the organization and our skills, right? So do I consider myself effective and skillful at my job? Do I have the confidence in my ability to succeed? And am I feeling a sense of success and wins and a sense of growth in the organization? Is the organization supportive of my learning as I go through? And when you look at these three needs, and by the way, I moved through those pretty quickly. There's lots of resources to dive in more on these. I've done for over the last 2 years, a number of webinars looking at different aspects of these needs and going into more detail that you can look at. But when these needs are supported and fulfilled, guess what happens? Well-being just skyrockets. Vitality goes up, happiness goes up, creativity goes up, physical health goes up, mental health is improved. And it's not a trade-off with the business outcomes. And this is kind of the great thing about this model. It's also true that for the people in the C-suite who are focused on the bottom line, you're not asking them to make a sunk cost investment in programs that support these needs, because these things also increase trust, retention, productivity. They decrease absenteeism, and of course, engagement skyrockets. So the benefits are universal, and it makes sense the benefits are universal because these are basic psychological needs. These are the needs that apply to everyone everywhere. There have been a number of studies that have come out that have shown that regardless of industry, regardless of country, regardless of age, regardless of gender, background, that these needs are driving all of these outcomes, which is really exciting when you think about it.